This 8-ingredient, wine-colored black currant and roses body wash is all natural and smells divine. Its gorgeous, honey-like consistency comes from some really cool interplay between two of the surfactants and the pH of the formulation. So there's no gums or Crothix required to thicken this formulation. Hey bees, I'm Marie from Humblebee and Me, and today we are making a very Valentine's Day appropriate black currant and roses all-natural body wash. As always, if you are looking for more information on this formulation or any formulations I share, make sure you are reading the full partner blog post linked in the description box below this video. The partner blog post always includes lots of extra helpful information, including information on substitutions, scaling, links to places to buy all the ingredients, and heaps more. But let's dive in. The bulk of this formulation is surfactants, and the bulk of the surfactants is 96 grams of an all-natural surfactant blend called Plantapon SF NA. This is a gentle blend of anionic, amphoteric, and non-ionic surfactants, and mine was a gift from Voyager Soap and Candle. I found this product for sale in quite a few places around the world, so make sure you are reading the blog post for links. This surfactant is key to the lovely viscosity that we get with this formulation. Back in 2020, I came across a really interesting article describing how a surfactant blend of sodium cocoa glutamate and lauryl glucoside could be thickened simply by lowering the pH. I played with this idea on my own using just those two surfactants and had a lot of fun with it, but mostly ended up discovering that I'd go from a runny liquid to something super solid in a very narrow range, so I ended up shelving the project until this lovely new surfactant from Voyager arrived. If you'd like to learn more about my experiments, I did a patron exclusive video on it, so please consider becoming a $10 and up patron if you'd like to check that out. I was, and still am, really excited about how we can thicken this all-natural surfactant blend without using something like gums, because gums they can be persnickety, they can get kind of snotty or slimy, and combined with different essential oils, sometimes they can curdle and split, which is annoying. If you'd like to learn more about this, please make sure you check out the Humblebee and Me Encyclopedia entry for Plantapon SF NA. I have linked to that article I was mentioning there and discussed all of this more. The other ingredient in our surfactant blend is 4.8 grams of Lamesoft PO65, which is a blend of cocoa glucoside and glyceryl oleate. This ingredient helps refat the formulation, making it a bit richer and milder on the skin. I did experiment with higher concentrations of this ingredient, but found that it got kind of cloudy and then eventually split. Bummer. The pH of this formulation is lowered into the mildly acidic, beautifully viscous range with two ingredients. The first one is our preservative, 3.6 grams of Geogard Ultra. This is an all-natural preservative that also helps boost moisturizing properties, and it does cause the pH of our formulations to drop, and so we are fully embracing that pH dropping in this formulation. The preservative alone wasn't enough to pull the pH down as much as I wanted it to, so I've also included 1.2 grams of a 90% lactic acid solution. The black currant and roses part of this formulation comes from two ingredients, both gifted by Voyager Soap and Candle. The lovely color comes from 4.8 grams of a richly colored black currant extract. And the beautiful fruity floral scent comes from 1.2 grams of a natural black currant, roses, and vanilla fragrance oil. Natural fragrance oils are created by blending together naturally occurring fragrant compounds. These are the same chemicals that give essential oils their scents. We're just teasing them apart and reassembling them to create something that doesn't exist as an essential oil. And the last two ingredients in this formulation are 36 grams of moisturizing vegetable glycerin and 92.4 grams of distilled water. To make this body wash, combine everything in a beaker. The order doesn't really matter all that much, just add the water last. Add everything but the water to the beaker, stir to combine, and then gently add the water. I like to pour it over my spatula to break its fall, and gently stir that together, cover, and leave. Our preservative, Geogard Ultra, is pretty slow to dissolve, so I find this needs at least 5 hours to fully come together. If you'd like to speed this process along, you can combine the Geogard Ultra with the distilled water and gently heat until the preservative has dissolved, as it is heat stable, and then carry on. But I usually choose to just do this at a time when I can leave it for a while and go grocery shopping. Maybe I do it before I go to bed, and then come back and carry on, after some time has passed. After about at least 5 hours, everything should have dissolved and come together really nicely, and when you give the body wash a stir, you'll find that it has developed some really lovely viscosity. I made two different versions of this body wash for this video so you can see how the pH impacts the viscosity. The first version includes 0.2% of the 90% lactic acid solution and has a pH of about 5.75. The second version contains 0.5% of that 90% lactic acid solution and has a pH of 5.5 and is definitely a bit more viscous. If you want an even thicker body wash, you can achieve this by lowering lowering the pH of the body wash even more. I wouldn't go lower than a pH of about 4.5, but I don't think you will need to in order to get a really thick, lovely viscosity. To learn more about this, please make sure you're reading the partner blog post and the encyclopedia entry on Plantapon SF NA. Both of these can be found over at humblebeeandme.com. Once the body wash is done, I do recommend checking the pH to make sure that it is in that sort of 4.5 to just shy of 6 range, but if you don't have a pH meter or pH strips, you can be reasonably confident that the pH is in that range if you've got a really lovely sort of runny honey consistency. At this point, all that's left is to package this body wash up. I used 2 100 milliliter soft squeeze tube/tottles from Yellowbee. Both were gifted. Depending on how thick you make this body wash, you could also put it in a pump top bottle. Mine would work really well in a pump top bottle, but if you make it much thicker than that, I think you will probably need to stick to a squeeze tube of some sort. To use this body wash, drizzle it all over a loofah, work up some gorgeous lather, and enjoy the blackcurrant roses vanilla scent and your lovely clean skin. This body wash should easily last a year or two, but I do think you'll probably finish it before that much time passes. And that's it. That's how to make a lovely all-natural blackcurrant and roses body wash. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Please read the partner blog post and the related encyclopedia entries to learn more over at humblebeeandme.com, and I'll see you next time. Bye!